Welcome to the show. It's great to be back for the second episode of season 2. In the last episode, we talked all about lightning lanes. And in this episode, we are going to talk about navigating lines at Disneyland and how you can skip them.
Yes. So last week, like she said, we covered lightning lanes. We went into depth. We went into detail. We told you all the things you need to know, all the tips, all the tricks. So make sure you go back and listen to that one because that is a big one. And we've actually gotten a lot of questions, or at least I have on Instagram and on our Magical Moms podcast. We have gotten a lot of questions, which is great. Keep the questions coming because we're actually doing a separate episode at the end of this little series we have where we are answering all of your questions. So we probably already have at least 7 or 8 questions to answer. If you want more, or if you have something you want to hear more, please either DM us on Instagram, or you can email us at magicalmomspodcast@gmail.com with any questions, or maybe you have a tip that we didn't cover. So please let us know so we can add it in on that episode.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to the show. You can follow us on Magical Moms Podcast on all the social media channels. You can also watch full episodes on YouTube at Disney Content, youtube.com/Disney Content. You can follow me. I'm California Disney Bliss on all the socials.
And I'm Lindsay, and I'm Chasing Magic Daily on all the socials.
Yes.
So we just did a review, a podcast review giveaway, which was really fun. We actually just had the winner claim their prize. We gave them a cute little, the Mickey Ghost popcorn. We just appreciate those reviews so much. They really help us get out to a new audience, to new people, to just help them to go to Disneyland. So if you would like to leave a review for us, you can do that on Apple Podcast, or you can DM us a review on Magical Moms Podcast Instagram. Either way, we really appreciate it. And it's a fun little way for you to possibly get a shout out as well, because we do read some of our reviews here on the Magical Moms Podcast, like we're about to do right now. We have one here. Let's see. Let me pull it up here. Of course I cannot zoom in. Okay. It's, oh my gosh, this is from Lindsay. I did not write this. Okay. This was not my own review. This is from Lindsay 072911. She says, love this podcast, gave it a 5-star review. She said, I was following Lindsay and Bridget long before this podcast started. So when they announced that they were doing one, I was so excited. I listened to the episodes while driving, and I love all the tips they provide, especially since Disneyland isn't my home park. I always look forward to new episodes, and I've been loving the Magical Minutes mini-series as well. Well, thank you, Lindsay. Much appreciated.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And then we got another one from the Berry family, and it's titled A Perfect Disney Duo. These two Cali girls really know their stuff, from helpful hints to specific things they recommend. It is so fun to listen to them talk and share what they have learned over the years. Their dynamic is so smooth and effortless, all while keeping their silly sides at the forefront. I love that. I can attest that they are even sweeter in person and some of the most genuine influencers out there. Oh my gosh, thank you so much,
really
Berry family.
Sweet.
It's very, very
family.
sweet. I know I can speak for Lindsay. We absolutely love meeting people in the park. We just love chatting with people. We've had a lot of people come up to us, talk to us about the podcast, and it means so much to both of us.
Yeah, it really is cool. And it's fun when we're there together because we go every week together and people will stop us to say they listen to the podcast. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And then another thing that we are doing here at the podcast is we have a Patreon family. It's just another way for us to kind of create a sense of community with the fellow Disney moms and Disney parents that like to go with kids. So if you want to join that Patreon family, inside we do have some tip sheets for you guys. So everything you hear here on the podcast, we have a visual for you in that group. We have a private Facebook group. We do virtual hangouts. We do in-person meetups, which we just had our first one, which was super fun. So if you want to join that Patreon group, there is a link down in the show notes, or you can go to patreon.com and just search Magical Moms Podcast. And if you want to be part of those like meetups and those hangouts, you do need to make sure you join the park ticket or pass holder tier. And yeah, we just love having new people show up in that group. It's fun. We have people that like comment in there and talk about current events. So it's fun to see new people in there. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great community. It's just so fun. And something that was super fun, what I did yesterday, is I had a family day in the parks all day long. We started off really, really early, and we did just like a Halloween day. So typically, my kids grew up, in the parks, and I don't want them to get bored, of going to Disneyland or just, accustomed to it. I like to kind of like switch things up and, I don't know, just make special days. And so yesterday was a special day, and we did all Halloween Halloween themed things just for the day, which was great because there is so much to do.
Yeah.
And on our Patreon, we have the tip sheet for all the things you can do with Disneyland at Disneyland during the Halloween season with kids. So I actually looked it up while we were driving up to Disneyland.
You used our tip sheet?
I do that a lot. I use my own tip sheets. I use like my own post that I make where I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this because you can't remember everything. So while Jack was driving, I was like looking up our tip sheet. I was like, oh, okay. And we checked off almost everything off the list. We
Fantastic.
had so much fun. We started off with the pumpkin photo, of course. And that went really well because with a 3-year-old, sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get with these photos. And they went great. And we just had such the best day. We had like Halloween, foods, and it was really, really sweet. We wore like our Halloween clothes and the kids absolutely loved it. But I will say what they loved the most about our day yesterday was they saw apparently the hottest celebrity in the world that I didn't know existed until yesterday. His name is I Show Speed. He is a live streamer, YouTuber on TikTok, the whole 9 yards. He has a gazillion amount of followers, like unbelievable amount of followers. And I did not know who he was until yesterday. And the only reason why we really could see everything that was going on and see him was because we were walking past Indiana Jones and there was a security show that I've just never seen before. We were talking private security, private bodyguards, Disneyland security, Anaheim police, Disney corporate people. And I thought, I didn't know who was inside this ride. I didn't know if it was Indiana Jones himself. I mean, it was like, what is going on? Yeah. And then he came out and my kids lost it. They were like, oh my God. And I'm like, who is this? And you could see all the other like parents and moms going like, what's going on? And all the kids are all like excited. And it was definitely, I never have felt so old in my life.
I wouldn't have known who it is either. I still don't know who it is.
I didn't know. And the kids were like, you don't know who this is. So that was super exciting for them. And then we saw a bunch of other celebrities as well yesterday. It was one of those like, weird days. We do get a lot more. Yeah, we get more celebrities at Disneyland than they do at Walt Disney World just because, we are so close to LA. We're so close to, Hollywood. So, you do see them in the park, but I have never seen anything like I saw yesterday for I Show Speed. So anyway, if you don't know who he is, you will now. And apparently he's the most popular person in the world.
and Mary, who's in our Patreon fam, is in the live chat right now. She said Travis Barker too, which I believe you saw as well, Bridget, right?
Yes. We walked right next to him and his wife, Kourtney Kardashian and Kris Kardashian. And they were, they seemed very nice. We were next to them for a little bit. And they had their VIP, host with them. But they did not have the Anaheim Police Department and all. I've just never seen anything like it. And then we saw some other like YouTubers and stuff, and it was really cute. The kids were like, "Oh my gosh," they were freaking out. So, that was really, it was a really fun day. Yeah,
nice.
It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you and I had a fun evening, I should say, last week. We got to go out to Angel Stadium where they recently just launched Topps launched the first ever Topps MLB and Disney collab. And Bridget and I got to go to the launch of the event, which was really cool. We got to check out the new cards, check out all the cool chasers. I have kind of been like diving into this whole world of trading cards since the event. And it is crazy. It is crazy. Like I can't get anymore. I physically cannot get them. I've called around, I can't get them. But apparently there's these drops and you can pay people to open these packs for you. And it's like a whole world that I just never knew existed. So if you're interested in them, you got to kind of do some research on how to get them. But once you do get them, they are really cool. Oh, in fact, here, I have a couple of my special ones right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see them, but I got a couple, this is one of 99 in the world. This is one of 101 in the world. And I got a couple good ones. We're really excited about that. But
you better put them in a safe.
I know. I got to put them somewhere safe. They're the protectors, but I need to put them somewhere very safe.
That was a really, really cute event. You saw Mickey and Donald and Goofy, and they threw out the first pitch, and they came up, and then we got to hang out with them. And it was super sweet, and it was a whole new hobby that I didn't know much about at all until we were at that event, and it was really, really cool. It was also really cool because I don't know if anybody knows this, but Lindsay's husband has his own Topps baseball card, which I told everybody about because I know because he used to be an Angels baseball player, and he has his own Topps baseball card. He actually gave one of his baseball cards to my son Max, and it's in his baseball like card collection.
Oh,
And
yay.
so he has it. So Lindsay's busy collecting Disney baseball cards, and we're getting Lindsay's husband's baseball card.
Yes.
So that's what we're
and
doing.
Actually, what was really cool about that, like I don't typically bring it up, but whatever. Bridget brought it up, which was very sweet. And what happened was the guy that was a professional card opener was helping me open my cards and tell me about my cards. Bridget brought that up when we were there, and he was like, "Oh, who's your husband?" And I was like, "Chris Pettit." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, he signed my card in baseball when he played for the Salt Lake Bees." And I was like, "What? No way!" Like it was just such a small world. So that little moment was really cool and really special. My husband was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Well, that's why you do it. You sign it for the kids because they remember that stuff." And I was like,
He does.
sweet.
He said he was like 14 years old when
Yeah.
he met Chris, and that's so awesome. I just love it. Yeah.
Small world.
Yes, it is a small world.
And then we have actually, Bridget and I have a very exciting announcement coming up regarding a brand new partnership, which we're not going to get into too much detail right now, but we're going to be talking about it more in a couple of episodes. We are very, very excited. We had a business call about it last week. And yeah, we're going to be sharing that in just a couple episodes here.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that one because it's
So many
super
exciting
exciting.
things. Yes.
Super exciting.
All right. I feel
Let's get
like
into
we
it.
should get into the meat of this now. So
Yes.
still,
Let's do
we're
it.
talking about navigating lines. We knocked out the big one, lightning lanes, last week. So we're going to talk to you about a few other ways. I think we have like 6 or 7 other ways to kind of manage lines, kind of skip the lines, or tips, tricks, hacks, things you need to know. So do you want to kick us off? Because I know you are the foodie.
I'm very passionate about this one
Yes,
as well,
you
by the
are.
way. Mobile ordering your food. That is by far the best way to skip lines. It's also free. And it is something that should be used on every single Disneyland day that you have. It's super simple. It's through the app. Almost every single location has mobile food ordering option, that option
Quick
to
service,
do so.
yeah.
Yeah, the quick service. So that you can't mobile order a churro, you can't mobile order popcorn or any of that. You can't mobile order from a restaurant, but you can do it from any of the quick service locations. And it is vital to your Disneyland day. I use it every single time I am there. I actually don't wait for food if I can't mobile order.
Yeah.
So just so you know, I don't
We'll
wait
go
in line
somewhere
for food. Yeah, I'm like, no, not doing it. So, it actually pains me when I'm walking around the park and I see people waiting in long lines at quick service locations because I just know they're wasting time that didn't need to be wasted,
Right.
or when they could be doing something else. So mobile ordering is very, very key. You can mobile order starting at 7 a.m. from anywhere. You do not have to be in the parks. You can be in your hotel. You can be at home. You can be anywhere you want to be. And also, if you mobile order something and you don't want it, you will not get charged. You can cancel it on the app. You can also modify the pickup time, or if you just don't pick it up, you will not get charged. So that is an amazing, amazing tip that you need for your Disneyland day. Another thing that's super important is when you get your mobile order time, when you get that, just all you need to do is find the mobile ordering pickup window. You do not need to wait in line. You can just go straight up. It kind of feels like you're like skipping the line a little bit. Like there are certain locations where you're like, sorry, like I have a mobile order, I promise. And you're like skipping the line in the sense, and it's fast. There are definitely places where mobile order reigns supreme. Jolly Holiday Bakery, always mobile order from there. Cocina Cucamonga, always mobile order from there. There's definitely places where mobile ordering will save you 30 minutes or more.
Yeah.
So do that. With the holiday season coming, we're going to be having holiday treats coming out, and holiday treats usually mean long lines at these quick service locations. So you can mobile order that. And usually you can mobile order some novelties as well,
Yes.
from Galactic Grill or other locations. And as it gets closer, we'll be sharing more about, the holiday season and novelties. Something that's also really important, and it's a tip that I learned from Nikki, from Mornings with Mickey, and I use it all the time, is when you see on the app, you have a pickup window for, let's say, 1 p.m., but you don't want 1 p.m., you want 11 a.m. There's still hope for you. What you do is you leave the screen, you go back, you do like the back button, and then you open up the screen again where that time is, and the time will fluctuate. Usually you can get the time that you want, and that will help you. But I just never wait in lines for food at all. I always get the time that I want. It is totally doable, and you can mobile order all the way until the park closes.
Yes.
So definitely do that. Another big tip, trolley treats, and also the Candy Palace at Disneyland on Main Street. Those are the two places that at the end of the night have the longest line because everyone's trying to get their treats before they go home. You can mobile order from both of those places. And you can mobile order early and then you just go up, you pick up your treat and you drive home. And those lines for both of those spots can
get long.
Really, really long. So definitely mobile order is such a big tip.
Yeah.
Skipping the line.
And one of the biggest lines I see too, funny enough, is the little red wagon cart. That line for corn dogs is always so long. And I always laugh, Bridget, because you're always like, I just want to be like that guy with the cardboard sign that just says use mobile order and just like stand out by little red wagon.
I'm going to do it.
So true.
I am going to do it. I'm just going to take a photo where it's just like, please don't wait in this line. It pains me.
You can literally just walk up, grab your dog and leave. Like you don't have to wait.
And you can also get pickles there too. But like another thing is that whenever I've been standing there where I've been like going and picking up my mobile order and I literally hear people going, that's not fair. She's skipping the line. I'm like, no, I'm really not. Like it's mobile order friendly. It doesn't look like it because it's not, it's kind of like a stand, like the churro stand and the popcorn stand, but it really is a mobile ordering spot and use it. Just do it.
Yes.
Mobile order.
Yes. And then another place you can use like a mobile thing is the mobile checkout. So there are some of the big major stores throughout the resort use mobile checkout options. I use it all the time at World of Disney because sometimes depending on the time in the day, the checkout lines for World of Disney can get pretty long. But if you simply go to your Disneyland app, you hit those three little horizontal lines in the bottom corner and hit mobile checkout. You can go ahead, you can actually use your phone to scan each of your items, like scan the price tag. You can finish the checkout on your phone. It will automatically put your discount in if you have a magic key. And then you just go to the little mobile checkout spot, which is usually just like a little tiny kiosk. They check off your QR code and then you're good to leave. So it's very quick, very seamless. And if there are long lines where you're shopping, you get to essentially just skip that big long line to wait and check out. Which sometimes is helpful because I find that I spend more money when I wait in those lines because they're very, they put like little things all along the checkout line and you're like, oh, this is cute. Oh, this is cute. I'll just grab this. It's just $10, So it's like I stick to what I want.
Especially if you have the kids with you too, because, just like grocery stores, they put all the cool fun things right at their eye level,
Yep.
So definitely you can mobile check out at World of Disney and Downtown Disney at the Emporium at Disneyland and then Elias & Co. at DCA. They used to have more locations, but they reduced them down to 3.
Yeah.
So maybe during the holiday season, they might add more. You never know.
Yes.
You never know. But that is a big skip the line option for sure.
Yes. All right.
Okay, then you should talk about this next one because I know you've used this before a lot.
I do use this one a lot. So you have something called, these kind of go together. They're the same thing, the Buddy Pass and the Roo Pass. So the Buddy Pass is the one that you use at the Monsters, Inc. ride. Now, we'll tell you how to use it, but just so you know, Monsters, Inc. ride is going away. It is being shut down at the beginning of 2026 to make room for the whole Avatar experience that is coming. But until then, you can use this tip. So basically, you just go to the cast member at the very front of the line. They're always standing there, and they have like a little pack of papers in them, and it says Buddy Pass on it. And if you just simply ask them, typically you have to have a group of like 3 or less because you have to be able to fit in one row. You can ask them, hey, do you have a Buddy Pass? They'll only do it if the standby line, I believe, is 20 minutes or greater. But if it is longer than that, you can ask for that. And if they're giving them away, they'll give you a little pass and you get to enter through the exit. And you just walk right in. And then you just wait there for maybe 5 minutes, 10 at the most. But when the wait is, standby is 45, that's a huge saving there. And then they just put you in the third row of like a car that hasn't been fully filled. So you're kind of like the filler group.
That's awesome.
And when my son was really little, I was able to do it with all 3 of my kids because he would just sit on my lap and the 2 girls would sit next to me. So I would use it for that too. And then the other place that has the same exact thing is the Winnie the Pooh ride. So the Winnie the Pooh ride has the Roo Pass, who is Kanga's, oh my gosh, Roo. Is Roo a boy or a girl? I was going to say son.
I think it's a girl.
Is it a girl?
I don't know.
Kanga's child is Roo. So they have the Roo Pass at Disney. Let us know. Someone in the chat, can you help us out? Is Roo a boy?
I don't know. I've never even thought about it.
If you're on the Patreon fam and you're here on live, please help these Disney adults out. But anyways, Winnie the Pooh does the same thing. So you can ask the cast member at the front of the line, and they will give you a Roo Pass to enter through the exit. And again, you're just filling in that third row on a full seat there.
Yeah. And that buddy pass is going to be really vital before the ride officially closes. The attraction closes. It'll be much more popular right before it closes. So
yes. Danny said Roo is a boy. Thank you.
There we go.
He has a little blue shirt on, so I kind of assumed he was a boy, but you never know.
You learn something new every day.
To Roo as him. Okay, cool. All right. And Mary agrees. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Patreon fam.
Yeah, thank you.
We need you on these.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so another tip that we've actually talked about before on the podcast that we have to talk about again for sure because it's a huge vital tip is rider switch. Rider switch, it can be a little confusing, especially when I've explained it a billion times, and even when I explain it, it can be a little bit confusing. But so for every attraction that for any attraction that you have a child or someone that or even an adult that can't ride the ride due to a height restriction or due to other issues, whatever they may be.
Or just doesn't want to ride it. Yeah.
Or just doesn't want to ride the ride, but you are, but you have a child that does want to go on, you and that other person can go in line and you wait in line. And when you are done riding that attraction, the person that has the rider switch, they then go on that attraction without having to wait in line. So how you do it is you go, when you first go onto that attraction, like let's say you're doing Big Thunder, right? You go to the entrance and you say, look, I'd like to do a rider switch. And they're like, oh, okay. And sometimes they'll give you a card. It depends on the attraction. Sometimes they'll give you like a little like key thing, or sometimes they'll just look at you and say, okay, no worries.
Or they actually scan your pass too.
Or they'll scan your pass. Yeah. And it's really easy. And you just wait for them at the exit, or they'll tell you where to wait. It's either the exit or right by the entrance where the lightning lane entrance is. And then what you do is once they are done with the attraction, then you get to go on that attraction, and you can bring somebody else with you. So sometimes if you have another child that wants to ride it twice, so that you can ride it with them. So each parent can ride it with them. Or if you have somebody else that wants to ride it, then you get to skip the line and then you get to go on it. So it's really great. You don't have to wait for the line twice if you have somebody with you in your party that doesn't want to ride the attraction.
Correct. Yes. And we have done this many a times because my oldest loves the big, fast, crazy rides and my middle doesn't. So like back when it was just like the two of them, we would just like my husband would take my oldest on and I would stay with my middle, and we would just go roam around, do whatever. And then when they came back, I would switch. So my oldest got to go on a second time. I would go on with her, and then my husband would stay with our middle. And so it's just a great perk that they have for people that for whatever reason can't or don't want to ride a particular ride. So I very much appreciate that.
When we first had West and we brought him to the parks for the very first time, the kids were really excited. My two older kids were very excited to have him, come to Disneyland with us for the first time. And then they were like, wait a second, we get to do rider switch because they knew then.
They knew about it.
I can't go on the attraction, right? Because I have the baby with me, and they got to do everything twice. So they loved it. It's a good perk.
It is. It is a very good perk.
Yeah.
Another way to skip the line, so to speak, especially if you are somebody like, let's say I'm there with my husband and my daughter, and I'm the only one that wants to go on Matterhorn. I can use something called the single rider line. So if you are by yourself, you can hop in that single rider line. It is typically shorter than the standby. Personally, my favorite single rider line that I use all the time is Radiator Springs Racers.
Yes.
You knew it, Bridget.
Yes.
That one saves a ton of time because Radiator Springs is always a very long line. And single rider, maybe you wait 10 minutes. I mean, I don't know that I've ever waited more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah, it's very fast. So only certain rides have that. So if you're looking at Disneyland, you have Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, Matterhorn, Space Mountain, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So you have 5 rides that offer single rider. And if you're over at DCA, you have Goofy Sky School, Incredicoaster, Radiator Springs Racers, Grizzly River One, Web Slingers, and Soarin' Around the World. So you have 6 over at DCA that you can just pop on real quick if or if you go solo like me and Bridget, we can just go by yourself. I know some people do use the single rider line if they have just one other person with them, which you can do. There's no rules against that, but you have to be okay with being separated. You can't walk up and then be like, oh, well, can we just stick together? No, they don't do that. You have to be okay with sitting separately. So
yeah. And it's funny because the last, I think the last 10 times I've done single rider, I've actually got to sit with the person that I'm with. That's just by chance. But if you're with with like a child, you know,
Yeah.
or like an older child, you know, definitely set that expectation because you just never know. You never know. But it's just a great way to skip the line, especially for Radiator Springs racers, which if you want to skip the line in a different way and pay for a single pass lightning lane, that's going to run you anywhere from like $25 to $35, Linz.
Yeah.
So you're also saving money if you do the single rider line for that attraction.
Oh, and one thing that should be mentioned for single rider, if you will have a child doing it, they have to be 7 years old or older. So you cannot send your 5-year-old on the single rider line. They will not allow that. So just know 7 and older is what you have to be for single rider.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. Very good point.
Yes.
So now we should probably talk about parking.
Yes.
Parking can eat up a lot of time in your Disneyland day and unexpected time in your Disneyland day. Both Lindsay and I, that happens to us quite often. Actually, the last time, Lindsay, that you and I met, it took you a very long time to get through the parking structure. Oddly, there's no really planning for it. You know, definitely on, you know, big holidays or, you know, Friday afternoons or Saturday mornings, that's when the parking structures can be a little bit more busy. But some days it's just a Wednesday morning and you have no really, you know, there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
So, one thing that people should know, there are 3 parking structures at the Disneyland Resort. There is Mickey and Friends parking structure. There's the Pixar Palace parking structure, which is located right next to it. It's pretty much attached. And then there is the Toy Story parking lot. I personally don't use a Toy Story parking lot because it takes up too much time. Also, there's a bus involved. And if I have a stroller with me, I do not want to deal with that. So if you, are going to park at the Mickey and Friends parking structure, you do have another option. You have the Pixar Palace parking structure, which you can access via Magic Way. And that is open between anywhere from 7 to 8 a.m. We don't really know. Sometimes it's 7 a.m.
It's not a set time. I have learned.
There,
And I've even asked people that worked at the gates. They're like, we don't have a set time. It's anywhere between 7 and 8 a.m. Okay.
Yes, even though on the website they do have a set time.
Oh, actually, you know what? Wait, that's correction. It's 7:30. 7:30 and 8 is is when it will open, but it's not because you can't rope drop and sit at Pixar. So it's 7:30 and 8. But you don't know. You kind of if you show up at 9, you can head over to Pixar Pals pretty confidently. But
yes. And it'll close at 11 a.m. You know, and it is, like Lindsay said, the times can be can vary. There are times where I've driven past at 11:30 and it's open, but, you know, you're more guaranteed that 9 to 11 a.m., you know, parking time. And that can save you a ton of time. So you just have to go over Magic Way and that'll be that.
Yeah. Because a lot of times Mickey and Friends will get backed up, and then so if you know that and you're aware of it, you just kind of avoid it. You take the fork in the road and you go over to Pixar, and you can like 90% of the time I literally drive right up to the gate, show my thing, and I'm out of there. Like I don't have to wait in any lines when I use Pixar Pals parking, which is great. So another thing, if you park at Mickey and Friends or you park at the Pixar Palace parking structure and you go and you see the security lines are so long, you don't need to wait in those. You don't at all. All you have to do is either take the elevator to the second floor or the escalator to the second floor at the Pixar Palace parking structure, and you will see that parking structure because there is a big Pixar ball right in front of it, right? And so take that escalator or take the elevator to level 2. And at level 2, there is a wonderful little walkway that will take you right into the parking area for the downtown Disney, you know, area. And then you can use the downtown Disney security line, which is in that parking area. And that can save a lot of time as well. Yeah, that is typically a lot shorter. So the one, I guess, like disadvantage would be if you're doing that, you don't get to take the tram. Obviously, if you want to take the tram, you do have to wait in the lines that are typically longer. Now, if you rope drop, that's great. Then you don't have to worry about those lines. If you don't rope drop, if you're the one that's showing up around like 10 a.m., which is PSA, that is like the worst time to show up to the park. If you show up around 10 and those lines are incredibly long over at the security for the trams, that's when you're going to want to walk over. And then you have to walk to the park. So just think of it as like your little warm up for the park. You're going to walk over to security. That line is typically a lot shorter. And then you walk through downtown Disney to get to the park. So another way to
walk
kind of
a little bit more steps. Yeah, you're going to walk a little bit more steps, but then you can justify that extra churro or whatever it may be. But there have been many, many times where Lindsay and I have arrived to the parking structure almost at the same time, and I have waited in the security line for the tram, and she has just done the walkover, and she has beat me by like a half an hour. I mean, like, or more. There was that one day, the opening day.
Yes.
Or was it opening day or was it?
It was the 70th when you wore heels. And
yes,
I told
I wore
you, I'm
heels.
like, you need to walk. The lines are long. She was like, I wore heels. I can't. I'm like, oh, great. Well, you're going to be waiting.
I think you just wrote, what? Like in the text message, you're like, first of all, why are you wearing heels? It was a 70th outfit I was trying to pull off. Yes, my feet hurt at the end of the day. And it was worth it. It was cute. Anyway,
it was very cute.
It was cute, but I had to wait like a really long time. So yeah, so just do that. The walk really isn't that bad at all. And my kids actually really like it because they like to walk through downtown Disney and, you know, so on and so forth. So it's definitely, it's doable even with children. And then also if you have a stroller or like a double stroller, you're alone, you don't want to pack up the stroller. I literally hate packing up the stroller for the tram.
Too.
I don't go on the tram with my stroller unless Jack's with me because Jack will pack up the stroller.
Yeah.
I do not pack up the stroller. So if I have West with me, if I have my toddler with me, then I just automatically do the walk because I don't want to have to pack up the stroller. Because the tram, you can only have the stroller on the tram in that very first row of every tram car. So each tram has like probably eight tram cars, Linz.
Maybe, I
maybe
don't
eight.
even know.
Let's just say, we're just guessing, maybe eight. So that first row of each of the eight, let's just say, tram cars, that's where you can fold up and have your stroller. So those lines can be a little bit longer because you need to be in that stroller section, right? So I just walk it. I just walk it. I'm not dealing with it. So it's a lot easier that way.
And you know, another one I just thought of, but again, it kind of goes back to the tram thing where like, if you're going to do this, you do have to close up your stroller. So it depends on personal preference. But if you want to, if you're going to do that walk through downtown Disney, just know you can also hop on the monorail right there in downtown Disney. If depending on the time that you get there, but if you have a Disneyland start and it's before 11 a.m., they will let you scan into the monorail. And then you can take that monorail right in and it drops you right off near the submarines and Autopia. So again, it does save you a little bit of walking, but you will have to put the stroller down in a part or whatever to be able to ride it. But I've done that with my kids and they love taking the monorail in, which I learned from Dapper Danielle, who's on the Disney Countdown, that their monorail system doesn't like connect to Disney Springs, I think, or something.
Yes,
so I was like, oh, that's interesting because here in California we do. So you can go from downtown Disney right to directly inside like the heart of the parks very quickly and very easily. Yeah,
very easily. I will say though that you know I love the Skyliner at Walt Disney World, Lindsay.
Yes.
I love it. It's my favorite attraction at Walt Disney World. And one of the reasons why is that you do not have to fold up your stroller.
Oh, yes.
So you just have it so the first time I ever rode it, West was napping. I was like, oh no, we're going to have to wake him up. And then they're like, no, you just go right in. I'm like, what? Because I'm so used to at the Disneyland Resort, you always have to fold up the stroller for everything. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
I just don't think I'll ever get over it. So yes, I love the Skyliner literally for that reason. But yeah, if I'm alone, I don't like to pack up the stroller. It can be kind of stressful and stuff. And also you have all your things. What do you do with all your things in the stroller? So it's just hard. But yeah, so that is a great tip. I walk it a lot. I know, Lindsay, you do too, just to save time.
Yep. And that covers
I think that's it. I think
all
we
of our
covered all
tips,
those.
tricks, and ways to navigate lines at Disneyland. That was another big honking episode here. We had a lot of info in here. So just a reminder, if you do have questions about anything that we just covered or anything you want to add in, maybe you have a cool tip you want to share, please either email us at magicalmomspodcast@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram. And we will definitely cover that in our upcoming episode where we are answering all of your questions.
Yes. And we have another fun episode that's going to be coming up, a special episode, a bonus episode where we're going to have a guest join us. And you guys may know her, Kelly Kruger from We Just Wear Ears.
We don't wear ears. No,
we don't wear ears. Yes, because she doesn't like them. Oh, see, there you go. We don't wear ears. But even though she doesn't like wearing ears, she loves sharing tips, and she has a lot of Disneyland tips to share with us. And she's got a really interesting story too. So we'll be having that come out soon.
Yeah, you guys will hear from her next week on that. So thank you so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys so much. You being here is just means the world to us. If you want to suggest anything, topics, tips, whatever it may be, again, you can email us or you can DM us on Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all the socials. We are Magical Moms Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and you can watch our episodes on youtube.com/Disney content. And if you want to stay connected with us between episodes, make sure to join that Patreon fam. Again, link down in the show notes, or you can search us Magical Moms Podcast on patreon.com. And until then, Bridget,
We'll see you
real soon. I think we got it.
No, we didn't at all.
We didn't?
No.
I think we did.
We totally missed
It
it.
looks good on my side.
Not on mine.